Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Today, we're going to be giving you the correct zombies tier list. Now, this is going to be all the way through Black Ops 6, just so you know. So, we're going to have all the maps from World at War through Black Ops 6. However, this is Treyarch only, so if you're looking for, like Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare, World War II, you're not going to get those maps. Also, Vanguard is not going to be on here just because I didn't play Vanguard, and literally all those maps would be in awful even if I have. So I'm just not even going to include Vanguard in this list because honestly, no one even really cares about Vanguard. We're going to go in order of when the maps came out. This is all my personal opinion, and so feel free to disagree, but this is the correct tier list. So we're gonna get started with Noctur and Toten. And we're gonna put this, and it's just fine. Like, it's not terrible. I would say like it's as bland as it gets. There's not even any perks. There's no pack-a-punch, but it does have a sense of atmosphere. There is a sense of horror, and it's sort of like its own challenge map because of it. And it sort of works enough to where it's not terrible, to where like it does fine at what it needs to do. Like it's fine. Like I'm not really gonna go and play it, but it's not necessarily bad. Verruct. Now, I would say it's fine as well. I'd say it's a little bit better than Noct simply because there's perks, and it's also more so a scary map. It's honestly one of the scarier zombies maps of all time, if not the scariest. So I would just put it in fine, but there's not really much replay value to it. More so on any of the World at War maps, aside from maybe Doris. But I mean, I never really go back and play the World at War maps myself. So Shinonuma, it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna put that behind Noct during Toten. Actually, like I just find Shinonuma so boring. Like it's just boring. I don't know why. It just is. It's just boring. Doris, I'm gonna put in good. I'm not gonna put it in great though. No, that might be a little controversial. I'm not gonna lie, but sure, it introduced Pack-a-Punch. It's got a good layout. Solid map, but there's no Easter egg, which y'all are going to hate me for because I haven't done too many zombies Easter eggs to begin with. But it's just, in terms of what it has to offer, a good co-op experience. Like, it's a good map, but it doesn't take the step into that next level for me. Like, it just doesn't. So I'm sorry. It's just going to be in good. Kino der Toten. I'll put this in great. And the reason I'm going to put this in great is I consider it one of the best pure survival experiences that you could get. And now I used to be a big survival player. And sure, Kino der Toten is nostalgic. But even like aside from that, I mean, you got traps, you got the thunder gun, you got a good solid layout, a good training area, a cool kind of fun way to pack a punch with teleporting. It's simple enough. It's just, you got all the perks, fun ways to high round, and it's just a solid map. Like it's just a really solid survival experience map. That's really all it is, but it's great at what it does. And so Kino's gonna go in great, and y'all can stay mad about it. 5. I'm put 5 above Doris and good. 5 is good. It's borderline great. I'm gonna keep it at the top of good, but I just need to play it a little bit more, or I can, maybe I'll put it more in great. But like I love the cast. I mean, dude, JFK and the Pentagon. It doesn't get much better than that. 5 is challenging, but it's very memorable. It's a very memorable map, and it's sort of, it can be almost an addicting map, an addicting challenge, if you would. Like, if you've never really played 5, you wouldn't really understand unless you're one of those that did get it. You'll get hooked on 5. You got the Pentagon Thief. It's a good map. It's almost a great map. Ascension, I'm gonna put in fine. Now that's probably gonna make some of you guys mad, but in reality, the reason I'm putting it in fine is because it's just boring to me. It just is. Like I never go back and play Ascension. I mean, who does, to be honest? Who really is gonna sit back and be like, yo, I want to go and I want to play Ascension? Sure, it had the very first zombies Easter egg, um, but in reality, like, is it really a great Easter egg? I mean, I don't know. I actually haven't done it, but from what I've seen of it, like, it doesn't seem like a too crazy fun necessarily Easter egg. But we'll see, because I'm gonna get it done at some point. Well, at least I'd like to, but I need a one-player mod in order to do so. So yeah, but it's boring. I don't ever feel the need to go back and play Ascension. Call of the Dead. Call of the Dead is gonna go, and it's gonna go at the top of great, phenomenal map. I have a video of Call of the Dead up on my channel, where I used Director's Cut mod, did the Easter egg. Now, Call of Dead, it's got one of the greatest atmospheres in all of zombies. It's got George Romero, who's a very annoying but overall great boss. So I mean, it's hard to get much better than Call of Dead, except there are a few maps on here that do. Hence why it's at the top of great, but it's not S tier, because the wonder weapons could be a bit better. Um, and personally, the Easter egg, a lot of people love the Call of Dead Easter egg. Like, I thought it was all right, but it wasn't all too crazy special to me. I'm just gonna be honest, it wasn't. Maybe it's because I didn't do it back, and I don't have that nostalgia for the Easter egg. But I didn't really think it was all that crazy special. Next up is Shangri-La. I haven't played Shangri-La too much, but I'd put it in good, but I'd probably put it behind Doris. Or, I mean, you could put it in front of Doris. It's a personal preference. You could move it really anywhere in here. But Shangri-La, it's a beautiful map. It's got a great vibe. I mean, atmospherically, it's breathtaking, but does it play well? It's more. I don't know. I don't know how to put it. Can be a little overwhelming with the monkeys and everything like that, and all the traps and just everything. Just the way Shang is as a map, it can be a lot. Especially as a casual player going into it. And I haven't really played it really since I've gotten like more hardcore into zombies. So like, I don't know. My opinion may not be valid on Shang, but I'm just gonna leave it there. That's really all I have to say. Moon. I still have yet to do the Easter egg on Moon. That's one I'm trying to do soon, and that'll probably really change. This is gonna be a before I do all the Easter eggs list, and then I'm gonna do one after I do all the Easter eggs. But I'm gonna put Moon in. I'm gonna put it in good, right below 5, just in terms of because I played 5 a little bit more than I played Moon. Beautiful map. I love the vibes of Moon. I love space. I'm one that I watch all things space on YouTube. Like I get sucked into that stuff. So being on the Moon is a really cool setting for a zombies map. But it's not necessarily. It doesn't feel like a great map. Like, it's not as replayable to me, which is why I'm only gonna leave it at in good, and it's not quite gonna go up to great for me. So that's just sort of where I leave it. Transit. Now this is where the list also can get a little bit more controversial, because now we're on to Black Ops 2, and Transit is divisive. I'm gonna put Transit. I'm gonna put it in fine, and I'm gonna put it at the top of fine. Is actually, or behind Ascension, because overall I think Ascension is probably a better objectively map than Transit is, and I'm gonna try and keep that in mind. But Transit, the way I put it, is that like Transit, it can be a fun co-op experience. Like, it really can be fun and co-op, to just mess around and have fun on Transit. Like, we all know what that's like. I mean, at least I think a lot of us do. However, for a solo experience, it is just not it. I'm gonna be honest. So it's just gonna go in fine just for that. Next up, Bus Depot. I'm just gonna put it, and it's gonna go in awful. I mean, it's sort of a challenge map, but really it just has nothing to offer. It's cut out of Transit. It's not like it was developed to be its own single map. There's no perks. There's no pack-a-punch. Just a mystery box. That's literally all you have. It's as bare bones as it gets, and there's nothing really redeeming about the map. And with Black Ops 2's two-hit down system, it's just It's never a fun time. There's no reason to really go play Bus Depot. Like, I just really never did. Next up is Farm, and it's gonna go in bad. It's just objectively, it's just not a great map. Um, I've played Farm actually quite a bit, believe it or not. It's got all the main, core perks, but there's no pack a punch. But it can be a little bit of a fun just challenge, see how many rounds you can get map. Town. Now I'm actually gonna put Town in Great, believe it or not. I'll put Town in Great, and I'm gonna have it right below Kino, but it also could go above Kino. But I think it's purely one of the best just outright survival maps that we've ever had. Like, I mean, it's so simple. You got all the main core perks, you got Pack a Punch, you get the mystery box that goes to one of two locations, and dude, Town, it's perfect for high rounding, just to see how far you can get. You got the ray gun Mark II, you got the ray gun. The only thing that would make Town perfect, which on Town remastered, and on Town reimagined on BO3 Customs, you got PhD Flopper, which makes it all the more better because you can run the Mustangs and Sallies a lot nicer, and it's just a lot more fun that way. I love PhD, and that would just make Town, that would take it to the next level. It would honestly boost it up probably above Kino just by having PhD in itself. But dude, I love Town, I'm gonna be honest. Nuketown Zombies. Man. I'm gonna put Nuketown Zombies. I'll put it in good. It's not like a crazy great map or anything like that, but it's just sort of, it's good. But there's not a whole lot that it offers outside of its just main core survival experience. You could not get Juggernog until eventually round 20 on the map due to its random perk system. But it's overall, I like the way Mr. T Luxify puts it. It's sort of like Zombies combat training, and that's one way to look at it. So I'll just leave it in good. Dire Eyes, I'm gonna say I could honestly put Dire Eyes and haven't played enough. And yeah, I probably will. I'll say objectively have not played Dire Eyes enough to give it a proper ranking. I've never even so much as gotten to the Slickifier on Dire Eyes. Like, I've got it on Kowloon, on Custom Zombies, but I've never actually had it on Dire Eyes. That's how little I played the map. Because I just never had a draw to play it. And no one that I played Zombies with played Dire Eyes, so it's just like, did it make sense to play it? Alright, next up we got Mob of the Dead. Now, this is where some of y'all are going to hate me, but I'm going to put Mob of the Dead in good. But I'll probably leave it there, I think, in good. Or I don't know. It's above Derice for me. I will leave it there for good. The thing about Mob of the Dead, so when I was younger and what I did play from Mob of the Dead, is it actually used to scare the shit out of me when the Warden spawned. He's my favorite boss ever. He's my favorite zombie boss, is the Warden, just because he used to scare the shit out of me as a kid. But the Easter egg is literally building a plane, flying to Pack-a-Punch 3 times, and then inputting some numbers, and then going back to Pack-a-Punch, and then completing the cycle or breaking the cycle, whatnot. Like, it's a very simple Easter egg, which I don't think is inherently a bad thing. But the map, it just doesn't have a whole lot to offer, I feel like. I mean, literally, once you build the Blundergat, or the Acid Gat, you get the Hell's Retriever, which is, obviously cool and all. But at that point, it's high rounding. But it's very linear. I hate filling up the dogs, the hounds. I hate that. Objectively, it's just a boring step. It's not fun. And so to do that, every time you play Mob of the Dead and having to go through this like setup process that you do, and just for the same results and it's the same. The gameplay is always the same on Mob, and it's just not that replayable for me. And that's sort of why I'm just gonna leave it there and good. Next up is, oh man, this is my favorite map of all time. It's Buried. Dude, y'all may disagree with this, but you can never put Buried anywhere below A. I don't care where you are, you cannot put it below A. But Buried is the top of S tier map, dude. It's got everything. It's got the a beautiful. I love the layout. I love the atmosphere, the Western vibes. The round chains music is absolutely perfect and signature. God, just really that round chains music, I can hear it in my head. It just gives me that absolute nostalgia because how many hours I put into Buried. You got the Paralyzer, you got Leroy or Arthur, whatever you want to call him. You got the time bombs. I can't wait to do the Easter egg once the remaster drops on BO3 Customs. You got, the quest to travel through the witch's house to go to Pack Punch every time you go through the maze. Dude, it's like an adventure every time you go. Dude, this map has the perma perks. I mean, you got the weapon shocks, the banking system, so you can be absolutely broken, all the separate traps. You got Vulture Aid. I mean, dude, what more does this map have to offer? It's got everything. You can be absolutely broken on this map if you want. You can really this map is basically, you can play it however you want, and Buried is absolutely perfect. It is the top of S tier. No map will ever beat Buried, in my opinion, for me. Like, that map is just, I played with my friends constantly. It was the map I played. I can't express. I probably played as the Victus crew more than any other crew, just purely because of how much I played Buried. I'm not even kidding. Origins, another S tier map. Origins is like, it's in my top 3. I just don't know if it's like 2 or 3 for like my favorite maps like ever. I think you got the staffs, which I honestly like more than the bows in DE. I like the quests for the staffs. Dude, you got the giants. You got It's a beautiful atmosphere. It's the perfect atmosphere. This is the kind of snow map I'm going for. Uh, every I could go all day about Origins, but we all know it's Origins. It's up there. Shadows of Evil. Part of me wants to put this and haven't played enough. But I have played the map a handful of times, but I've never really gotten too significantly far into the map before I've either quit out, or just quit playing, or just had to go for whatever reason, or died. So, God, I mean, I haven't even so much as built the Apothecarian Sword on the map. I haven't so much as even gotten the Apothecarian Servant, aside from when I played the map with mods. So I haven't even gotten into a regular game. So I'm honestly going to leave that and haven't played enough, because I just don't think I have a valid enough playtime on this map to have a critical opinion of it. So respectively, I'm just going to put it and haven't played enough. The Giant. I'm going to put it in, honestly, just above Derice. It's the same thing as Derice. It's just kind of updated. It looks a bit better, and it's... yeah, I mean, it's just updated Derice. I like it better. It's just nicer. It's BO3's movement, BO3 systems. So it'll be a little bit better. Derice and Drock. Now y'all are gonna hate me for this, but it's at the bottom of good. Like, it just is. It's got those God forbidden dragon steps. I do hate the dragon steps, just like I hate the dog steps on Mob filling up the 3 dragons. It's mind numbing. I don't like the lightning bow quest, believe it or not. Like, it's just, I mean, it's not horrible, but it's not a fun quest in itself, in my opinion. The Easter egg is alright, but the map is so linear. It's the same thing. I mean, sure, you can build 4 different one weapons. Like, that is cool in its own right. You have 4 different one weapons to choose from, but in reality, we typically pick our favorite bow and kind of just build that same bow every time, and then you can just high round however you want. You can just, for like however long you want, just sit in the corner with the lightning bow and just high round and just go infinite rounds. I mean, it's the same thing. It's so repetitive, and I cannot like, I'm gonna finish the Easter egg, I swear, but like, I don't want to play the map. Like, I get tired of the map very quickly. Because it's the same thing. Every game feels exactly the same as the last, and so it's just, that's where I put it. Like, hate me or not, that's just where I'm going to leave DE. Zetsubo, I haven't played enough. I'm just going to put it there. I haven't played Zetsubo enough. Go Ride Crovy, still have not played enough. Now, I know y'all you're gonna come at me for this, but it's true. I haven't played these BO3 maps like that enough. I was more so a BO2 player. I played a lot of BO2, and I played more BO4 zombies than I think I did BO3 initially. Like now, I probably played more BO3, and I'm going to be playing through these maps on the channel, so just you wait, and I have an updated list for you. But now, Revelations, haven't played enough. See, that is crazy now looking at it. Like, I just don't think I can give a critical opinion on these maps. But, okay, so actually, I will list these. I will. And where I think, from the little bit of where I have placed them, played, this is where I'd put it. I'd say Shadows of Evil, I'd put, like, it's a good, solid map so far, but I haven't really gotten to progress very far. I haven't really even done the Easter egg or nothing. Like, I've barely progressed through Shadows of Evil. But it seems like a good map, but I need a little bit more from it. Zetsubo, I'll leave in fine. Like, the atmosphere is nice, but it does seem like the setup, like there's a lot of doors, and it seems like it's going to be, I've heard of the long setup process. It kind of seems like that's what it is, and that's not normally my thing. So that's kind of where I have it at there. Gorod Kurovi, I feel like, I don't know, I'm liking the vibes I'm getting from Gorod Kurovi right now. Like, I played it only like twice, but I like the setting of the map, and I feel like it could be an absolute banger. Like, I just have a feeling it will. And Revelations, I'll put in good as well, just because I like the atmosphere. I like sort of what it's going for, but I want to play through and try to get that egg done and really just take it from there and give it a solid ranking after the fact. All right, now we move on to BO4, which is a game that I've actually played a little bit more of objectively. And this, dude, my list is going to be so controversial to many of you, but 9 I'm going to put in S tier, dude. 9 it's a top 5 map of all time, probably for me. 9, it's got one of the greatest atmospheres ever. You're in a gladiator arena. It's the one map where I do agree that all of BO4's systems, like, they work, they fit this map, like, because you have so much, like, in your face. I feel like with BO4, that's one of the things I actually don't like about it, but I feel like it works with this map, with the specialists and everything. Like, it flows well, it plays well. I've attempted the Easter egg. I've gotten a bit of the ways through it. I still haven't fully completed it yet, because again, I've just recently gotten into doing the Easter eggs. I've always just been a high round player, so my perspective is going to change, but I have gone a bit through the Easter egg, which it's all right so far as the Easter egg goes. So we'll see how it picks up from there. But dude, I could go on about 9, but y'all already know. Voids of Despair, I'm just gonna put it in. It's sad for me, but I'm gonna put it in fine. Like, it's a beautiful map aesthetically. Like, you're on the Titanic, dude, and I'm a big Titanic fan. Like, I have a piece of coal from the Titanic. I've been to the Titanic, like, museum. I love the movie Titanic. The setting of the map is just, it couldn't get any better, but it doesn't play well, man. It doesn't, and it's confusing, and it's just, on paper, it's like a really cool idea for a zombies map, but it didn't really turn out that well. Like, it's just not reality. Blood of the Dead. Now, y'all are gonna hate me for this, but I think Blood is, I'm honestly gonna put it, I'm gonna put it in great. I honestly I have a fun time playing Blood. More so than Mob of the Dead, and y'all are gonna be mad about that, but it's true. I honestly don't mind the shield. I'm gonna try and do the Blood of the Dead Easter egg. I don't mind the shield. I think it brings something. The map feels unique, has a good atmosphere, just like Mob did. There's more to do in the map. There's the Warden. I'm not as much of a fan of the Warden on Blood as I am on Mob. I think he's a little bit harder, more in your face. He's like a little bit more annoying on Blood. I prefer Mob's. I think it's more balanced version of him on Mob, in comparison to Blood. But I like the Magma Gat. Uh, which granted we have the Magma Gat on BO3's Mob of the Dead, but still Blood of the Dead objectively did this and Mob does not have it. And I could say, I mean, you do have a better Easter egg on Blood, in my opinion. Like it's gonna be. I believe. I'm just not a fan of Mob's Easter egg, and it just has more to offer as a whole as a map. I feel like than Mob of the Dead does. There's more content there on Blood. Uh, classified. It's not as good as 5, but it's still a good map. I'll just put it in good. It's just 5, but a little bit less unique in my opinion. Like it doesn't have the Pentagon Thief. That's like a big turn away, and it's just you don't have the not the same cast. So it's just ensure like they improve the Winter's Howl. Um, but it still sucks. But I'll say that I like 5's just better. It's just a worse version of 5. I'd rather just play 5. Dead of the Night. I really love the setting of Dead of the Night, but I don't really love how it plays. So I'm just gonna put Dead of the Night. I'll put it above Shang, or I'll put it right behind Shang. That's where I put Dead of the Night. Like I really don't have. I haven't played it like a ton, but it's just because I'm just not a huge fan of how it plays. Just gameplay wise, like there's a lot to explore. It's a bigger map. Objectively, there's a lot more doors. There's a big setup process to the map. It's a lot, and it's not something I want to go and play. It's not super replayable for me. Like it just isn't. It's not my thing, man. Ancient Evil. I feel like I need to do the Easter egg on this map. I feel like I do. But I objectively actually have not played Ancient Evil enough to give it a valid opinion. I haven't even gotten more than one hand. I've had one hand. I forget which one it was, too, that I got. But that's as far as my experience goes in that. So, but I would put it so far, and I believe I'd put it there in good. Alpha Omega, awful. I play this map, and it's soulless. Like it's just I don't even want to play it. It's just there's nothing redeeming about Alpha Omega in my opinion. Like it just does not feel good at all. Tagged or Toten, beautiful map. Not as good as Call of the Dead. Does have George Romero. It's not as unique. I mean, it is unique. I do feel like, but it's just not as good as Call of the Dead. I put Tag. I'd put it above 5 probably. Or no, I put Tag below 5. Below Moon, above Mob. Yeah, that's where I'll leave Tag right there. That's a solid place to put it. D Machine. It's a good map. I'll put D Machine right below Mob of the Dead. It's good. It's not great. It's Cold War. I don't get much zombies vibes from any Cold War map. Like it doesn't fit the setting to me. The vibes I get just aren't there. They just aren't with Cold War's maps. That's one thing I just don't like. Firebase Sea, I haven't played Firebase Sea. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I have not played it. Mario Toten, I've not played enough. I've played it like once. I'm just not a huge Cold War guy, dude. None of these maps, they feel like zombies to me, like aesthetically, and that's just something that's of importance to me when I play these maps. And so it just didn't fit for me, man. Forsaken it's fine. I'm just gonna leave it there. Yeah, it's fine. Actually, I would say objectively, it's better than the World at War maps because there's more there. It just offers more objectively to play. It's got a better wonder weapon with the Crystal Axe, but yeah, aside from Degrees, it's better than those maps. But it's fine. So wow, so this is my list. So that's kind of wild looking at it. I still got a few more to go because we're on to BO6 now. But to think that this is the way the list is kind of crazy. No, this order isn't specific. I'm kind of organizing them in tiers, but I'm trying to order them the best I can. But it's more so about the tiers they're in. And then we move on to BO6, which this is where I did my first Easter egg, so I might have a little bit of bias here. Terminus, I think, is as much as I want to put Terminus in S tier, as much as I want to, as much as I want to put it right there, I'll put Terminus in great. Like, it's a phenomenal. I'll put it above Call of Dead. Like, I liked it more than Call of Dead. I'll probably play Terminus more than I'll play Call of Dead. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I probably will. And that's just how I'm gonna rank this. Is I'll probably play Terminus more than Call of the Dead. And I hate that as a Call of Dead enjoyer, but I love Terminus as an Easter egg. I do. Like, it's so good. In the atmosphere of Terminus, I do like. You got the storm. You got the thunderstorm. You're on the stranded island. The boss fight at the end is perfect, dude. I like the wonder weapon. It could be a little bit better. I like the quest for it. The overall, just the Easter egg. It's a challenging, fun quest. Like, it's not super difficult by any means, but like, it's an interactive Easter egg that's formed off of challenges, and so it's fun. You got the the wonder weapon quest. You got the do the what do you? Oh my god. I forget what you call it. But you have to fill up that thing, that vial or whatever. You know what I'm talking about. 3 times, and then you can build the wonder weapon. But that step it can be a little bit challenging. And then you get Nathan fight. You get the lockdown, which can be skipped. The shock charge in the boat. And then you get the bomb step after the buoy step. Like, it's just all challenges, and it's fun. It's just a great egg, dude. And it's objectively more replay value to me than Call of the Dead. And that's why I put it in great. Almost S tier. Almost S tier. The only reason, like, honestly, it could go in S tier. Like, I might put Terminus in S tier. Like, dude, I love it. Honestly, the only reason I want it would just be because it's Black Ops 6 systems, which aren't inherently bad, but I don't think, like, I just don't like the weapon rarity systems and all that. It's just not zombies for me, because, for one, I don't like how for example, on Turnus, when you do, like, the Easter eggs, or this is a BO6 thing, but if you want to play the boss fights how they would normally go, like, if you want to play them to where you actually stand, like, a realistic chance, if you actually focus on doing the Easter egg once you start, you're going to just basically be done with the Easter egg, and then just kind of be progressing through rounds to put up money, level up your stuff, get your guns ready for the boss fight, rather than being, like, ready for the boss fight, like, right at the end of the egg. Like, I feel like I'm always just going through rounds afterwards to catch up weapon wise, so I can go in at the first shot. In comparison to, like, in BO3's eggs, you're just kind of ready, and you're progressed while going through the egg. Like, I don't like have to stop and wait and do that before going into the boss fight. Like, I'd rather just go into the boss fight, That's my biggest gripe. Liberty Falls, I'll put in. It's in good. I'll put it just because I haven't played these maps. Like, again, like that. That's the only reason. So don't get too mad. It has an Easter egg. It's a decently fun Easter egg. It's short. The map, it doesn't have that much replay value to me. I know a lot of people use it as a camo grinding map, and I can see that. I'll hop on there I've only played a handful of times, but I've beaten the Easter egg 3 times. It's fun, but it's not as replayable as other maps on Black Ops 6. The jet gun is cool, though. I really do love the jet gun. And again, it does have an Easter egg, so that I'll take, especially for an extra launch map. And honestly, Terminus, by the way, Terminus got me into loving Easter eggs by doing it. It's the first, well, technically the very first Easter egg I ever did was Liberty Falls. It's the first one I ever completed, was Liberty Falls. But Terminus is the one that truly felt like an actual zombies Easter egg for me. It was the first special one that I did. Alright, so next up we got Citadel de More. This is going in S tier. Man, honestly, yeah, it's going to go right behind 9 on S tier. Number 4. Uh, that's where Citadel's going to be, dude. Words cannot express how addicted I was to this map on launch, dude. I played it. I've done the Easter egg countless times at this point. I've actually sort of burned myself out on the map because of how much I played it. Like I actually take a little bit of a break from it, just because I played it so much, like nonstop on repeat since launch. Like I just played it a ton. You got the 4 swords, which I love, and I honestly didn't think they needed buff, but they did get buff. I thought that if you're good with them, you could literally progress to just round after round with them. Um, like in a decently high rounds, like you could just go only using the sword if you use them right. Like that's what I did. Got points that way. I didn't spend ammo that way. Like they're fun to use and they bring a unique feel to the map. You can. I build all 4 of them every time. The Easter egg is phenomenal. It leaves me every time I play the map. I want to do the Easter egg. The boss fight's perfect. I even like the atmosphere of the map. I do like that castle theme. I like it even more than the Horizon Drops. And it actually truly just it feels more like a castle. Citadel does in comparison. I don't know why. It does, and it's just overall a more fun. It's just a super fun map. It's so good, dude. It it just is. And that is the end of my tier list. So I'm gonna be going through playing all of these maps out and really getting a feel for them. And I'll give you an updated list after I've done more Easter eggs.